If you played Roblox back in the day, you probably remember Roblox story games. Camping, hotel, airplane, daycare. At one point they were everywhere on Roblox. But if that's true, then why did they just disappear? To understand that, we need to go back to 2018, where a developer known as Samson16 would release a game called Camping. And at the time, no one really expected much from it. Just a simple Roblox horror story game. You and a group of players go camping, but something is watching you in the woods. And whilst that doesn't sound amazing today, back then it was something completely different. Most Roblox games at the time were about grinding coins, winning rounds or collecting items. Camping wasn't. It was a game that people played to see what happened next. Every time something went wrong, players would start panicking in the chat. People would start making theories about the monster. And because you were playing with other people, every game felt a little different. Then came other story games like Hotel, Airplane, Daycare, and even sequels and prequels to Camping itself. And that's what made Camping stand out. So for a while, it felt like story games were everywhere. But then something started to change. Same twists, same gameplay over and over again. And at the same time, other games started taking over the Roblox homepage. And slowly the hype faded. Story games stopped feeling new, and Roblox had already moved on. But the story doesn't end here, because in late 2019, a game called Breakin' would come out, and suddenly the story game scene felt alive again. But this time things were different. You could actually interact with everything, such as boarding up windows, using weapons, and surviving long waves of enemies. And plus your favourite YouTubers were most likely making videos about the game, and with multiple endings, it actually gave people a reason to come back. For a moment, it felt like story games had evolved, but even with that, it didn't last long. Because people started to notice something. Even with all the new mechanics, it was still the same game altogether. You wake up, something goes wrong, you survive on with a few endings. And once you've seen it once or twice, you've basically seen it all. And at the same time, Roblox itself was changing. The platform started pushing different types of games more heavily. Games were becoming faster, more competitive, more replayable. Experiences that people could spend hundreds of hours on. And compared to that, story games had a difficult problem. Once you finished the story, there wasn't always a reason to come back. And by all of this, you'd think the genre would be killed completely, but you would be wrong. Because when the game Breakin' 2 came out in mid-2023, it did amazingly well. There were even more YouTubers making content on it, and the content had even more replay value. And at around this time, games like Rainbow Friends started blowing up. It wasn't really a story game in the same way as the old ones. It was shorter, more simpler, more replayable. Something you could jump into over and over again. And that kind of shows where Roblox was heading. So what actually happens for Roblox story games? To put aside its downfall and revival, at the time of recording, some of these games previously discussed are doing pretty well. Breakin' 1 and 2 both having 5.3k players, Daycare 1 having 1.2k players, and Daycare 2 nearly tripling that with 3.1k. And Rainbow Friends with 15.1k players. Maybe not as much as they used to, and these games aren't in their peak anymore, but still enough to show that people haven't completely moved on from them. Because looking back, it wasn't really about the gameplay, it was about the feeling. Playing with friends, not knowing what's going to happen next, just experiencing it all together. And even though Roblox has changed a lot since then, those games remind us of what it used to feel like.